Okay, let's talk about something. Have you ever faced, the English section of a big competitive exam and you just feel this surge of anxiety, even though you're totally fine with the other subjects?
Oh, absolutely. It's so common. A classic scenario.
Right. You've nailed the math, the reasoning, but then bam, the English questions just loom large, threatening to trip you up. Or maybe you've been in a group discussion brimming with excellent ideas,
Yeah.
real insights, but well, struggling to get them out professionally.
Watching someone else say basically the same thing, perhaps less insightfully, but more confidently, yeah, that stings.
Exactly. Or maybe it's simpler. Maybe you just want to speak English, fluently, confidently, naturally, day to day or at work.
Without that feeling, you're constantly hunting for words or making those little errors that just chip away at your self-assurance.
That's exactly it. And that's what we're diving deep into today, mastering these English skills for all sorts of real world situations. We're tackling exactly these challenges head on. And this isn't just about, dry academic stuff or rote memorization. It's about unlocking truly effective, nuanced communication.
Yeah, it's about equipping you with the right linguistic tools for incredibly diverse contexts. High pressure interviews, casual chats, everything in between.
Mm.
Precisely. Because English proficiency, in its truest sense, is about being adaptable. It's using your language with fluidity and precision in different environments.
Right. Whether it's that high stakes exam where every single word
Or a
counts,
formal debate where clarity and persuasion are absolutely paramount.
or even just a relaxed conversation with colleagues, the goal is always the same, isn't it? Convey your message accurately and confidently.
It's definitely more than just knowing a ton of words. It's about understanding how to use them, how to structure them, and crucially, how to deliver them to get your point across effectively.
And to help us navigate this, well, pretty intricate landscape, we've pulled together an amazing collection of insights. Seriously diverse sources here. These aren't just random tips, they're distilled strategies. We've got expert advice for absolutely acing competitive English exams.
Detailed guides on mastering group discussions and formal debates, like specific phrases and structures you can use immediately.
We've even dug into identifying and fixing those really common spoken English mistakes. The ones that sound right but aren't.
Oh, those are tricky. And we found practical, high-frequency phrases for daily use that can genuinely boost your fluency right away.
Plus, we're looking at innovative teaching approaches being used in classrooms and rounding it all off with a look at some fantastic, totally free online learning resources.
Yeah, so our mission in this deep dive is pretty clear.
That's right.
Extract the most important nuggets of knowledge from all this material. We want to give you clear, actionable strategies and maybe trigger some of those aha moments that can genuinely transform how you approach English.
We're aiming to demystify the complex rules and just give you practical tools.
Exactly. Whether your big goal is nailing that interview for your dream job
Or confidently jumping into a high level business meeting.
or simply expressing yourself with more clarity and confidence day to day.
You are absolutely in the right place. Okay, let's unpack this. Because the material we've gathered really does offer a unique path, not just to speaking English adequately, but like truly mastering it.
Moving from maybe feeling hesitant to being genuinely articulate.
Let's do it. So let's kick things off with a challenge many listeners, I'm sure, know all too well. Competitive exams. We hear it constantly, brilliant candidates totally acing the quantitative stuff, the logic puzzles.
Masters of complexity in other areas.
Exactly. But then the English section becomes this unexpected hurdle, their Achilles heel.
And it's not always about a fundamental lack of English knowledge, is it? It's more about the specific, often quite rigorous demands of those exams.
High stakes, intense pressure.
That's a perfect way to put it. Exams like the CAT, GMAT, GRE, IELTS, they're a different beast altogether compared to everyday chat or casual writing. They don't just test basic understanding. They test precision, grammatical accuracy under pressure, navigating really complex texts, and your command over nuanced vocabulary.
It's about demonstrating mastery, not just, being familiar with the language.
Precise.
And a huge part of that beast, often overwhelming, is vocabulary. It's not enough just to know the dictionary definition, right? You need the full picture.
Absolutely not. Our sources really emphasize going way beyond simple definitions. Like when you use a dictionary, make it a point to learn the synonyms and the antonyms.
Why is that so crucial?
Well, because it immediately broadens your grasp of a word's nuances, its sort of emotional weight, its appropriate context. It lets you be much more precise and impactful. Think about it instead of just good. Maybe you need benevolent for kindness, or propitious for favorable conditions, or salutary for something health beneficial. And knowing the opposites helps too.
It gives you a richer palette to choose from, like an artist having more colors.
Exactly. It makes your communication more vibrant, more exact.
I love that. It's moving beyond just blue to all the different shades. And for really active learning, our sources suggest something classic, but maybe overlooked.
Yeah.
The pocket notebook.
Ah, yes, the pocket notebook method, or any dedicated vocabulary journal, really. It's super effective because it forces consistent active engagement. Just the physical act of writing down a new word daily, maybe with a quick definition, a couple of synonyms, and crucially, your own example sentence.
Creating your own sentence, that's key, isn't it?
It is. It builds a much stronger memory imprint than just passive reading. That active recall, the brain effort to retrieve and use the word, is fundamental for long-term retention and actual use.
Right.
It moves the word from just, I recognize it, to I can use it.
And for those of us maybe a bit more digital, there's the modern equivalent, right? Digital flashcards.
Yes, leveraging free flashcard apps on your phone or tablet is fantastic, highly efficient. Many use spaced repetition algorithms.
Explain that spaced repetition.
Sure. It means the app shows you words at increasing intervals. Frequently at first, then less often as you get better, then right before you might forget them. It optimizes memorization by targeting review precisely when you need it. Plus, the interactive practice makes it way more engaging and efficient than just staring at a list. Some even let you add images or audio.
So these methods aren't just about cramming. They're about how our brains actually learn and keep information better.
Precisely. The cognitive benefit is huge. Active recall, writing it down, using a flashcard forces retrieval, not just recognition. And contextual learning, seeing words and sentences, knowing synonyms, understanding nuances, embeds them deeper in your mental dictionary. It's about building strong, accessible pathways for those words.
Okay, let's shift gears. Grammar. This is where many people start to feel a bit stressed, especially with those error detection questions and exams.
Yeah, those can be intimidating. You're not just looking for a general feeling of right or wrong.
No guesswork allowed.
Exactly. A solid, nuanced grasp of grammar is absolutely fundamental for those error detection questions. Our sources stress that finding errors isn't random, it's methodical. It demands a deep, rule-based understanding and consistent, almost analytical application. You need to know why it's wrong, which specific rule is broken. That precision comes from dedicated study.
You know, I always think of grammar as like the architectural blueprint of a language.
That's a great analogy.
You can have the most beautiful words, the best vocabulary, but if the blueprint, the grammar, is flawed, the whole structure just crumbles. It gets clunky, unclear, maybe even says the wrong thing entirely. Grammar gives it structural integrity, clarity, make sure the message stands strong.
Powerful analogy. It's the framework holding meaning together, preventing ambiguity, ensuring your ideas land with the exact precision you intended. Without it, even brilliant thoughts can get lost.
Okay, moving to reading comprehension. I think a lot of us look for quick fixes here. Just read faster, skim for keywords. But our sources suggest something deeper.
They do, and they're very clear. Improving reading comprehension is not an overnight thing. No speed reading tricks will cut it. It demands building a consistent, disciplined daily reading habit. It's about mental stamina, critical analysis skills, adapting to different texts over time.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. But the rewards are worth it.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about speed, but depth. And what about what we read? Just news articles, factual stuff.
Our sources strongly advise against limiting yourself to just hard facts or news or academic papers. Those are important, sure, but diversity is key. We encourage exploring a wider range. Feature stories, in-depth editorials, business magazines, even well-written fiction.
Why the variety, though? Does reading different things really help more than just reading more of the same type of text?
Oh, it makes a huge difference. Varied reading material boosts overall comprehension faster because it exposes your brain to loads of different writing styles, vocabulary and context, complex ideas in various forms. Reading an editorial trains you on persuasive language. A feature story sharpens your ability to follow narratives. This broad exposure makes your brain flexible.
Ah, so you learn to spot different rhetorical tricks, nuances of tone, style, become a more agile reader.
Exactly. Equipped for pretty much any text you encounter.
Next up, self-assessment. Sounds obvious, maybe, but often skipped when people are rushing to prepare.
But it's so critical. Our sources recommend consistently taking mock tests, not just to track progress, though that's good, but for deep diagnostic analysis. Find your weak spots is not just about the score, it's about the feedback, knowing precisely where your knowledge gaps are.
So it's like a GPS for your learning, pinpointing exactly where to focus your energy for the biggest improvement.
Precisely. Regular self-assessment gives an accurate picture of where you stand, enabling targeted improvement. Instead of vaguely studying more grammar, you know you need to work on, say, conditional clauses. And crucially, seeing your scores improve builds real self-confidence. That progress reinforces belief in your abilities, invaluable under pressure.
What's fascinating is how this connects to learning how you learn. Metacognition, right?
Indeed. It links deeply to metacognition, thinking about your own thinking. By assessing yourself, you gain insights into your learning process, see what strategies work for you, and optimize your habits. Ask yourself after a mock test, what was the most confusing part? Why? What could I try differently next time? That reflection makes you a more effective, independent learner.
Okay, finally for this section, the meticulous details. Spelling and sentence formation. In exams with writing sections, a wrong word or a clunky sentence can really mess things up.
Absolutely. Spelling accuracy is highlighted as critical. Like the source says, a wrong word can spoil an entire sentence, not just meaning, but professionalism, precision, especially in objective sections where one typo makes the answer wrong. Practical exercises spotting common errors are key, like effect versus effect, complement versus complement, definitely often misspelled. Training your eye is vital.
And sentence formation, especially when you're crafting whole paragraphs.
Hugely significant. Effective sentence formation ensures clarity and impact. Our sources stress using correct verbs and tenses beyond just basic agreement to build sentences that are not just grammatically sound, but meaningful, impactful, elegant, conveying ideas precisely.
A common trap I see is subject-verb agreement errors or misplaced modifiers creating silly meanings, like, having finished the report, the coffee was drunk.
Right, implying the coffee wrote the report.
Exactly. You need clear subjects or misusing homophones like there. Seems small, but it tanks credibility. Always proofread for these. Easy to miss, critical to fix. Okay, we've built that strong foundation for exams. Now let's shift focus. How do we apply these skills in structured, high-stakes situations where interaction matters as much as knowledge, and few settings are as critical or maybe as nerve-wracking as group discussions, GDs?
Group discussions are definitely pivotal in job interviews, business meetings, academic seminars. They're everywhere. They're designed to evaluate not just your ideas, but your ability to articulate them, listen, persuade, and collaborate effectively in a dynamic group. It's a performance in a way.
So it's not enough to just have good ideas. It's how you present, defend, and engage respectfully even when disagreeing. Our sources break GDs down into core elements.
Yes, the source identifies key moves. Introducing your viewpoint, agreeing, politely disagreeing, suggesting opinions, asking for clarification, interrupting politely, making general statements, mastering the right professional phrases for each. That's what elevates your participation, makes you sound polished, competent.
Let's dive into some specifics, starting with introducing your viewpoint. How do you kick off without sounding, well, aggressive or awkward?
Good question. One excellent, very standard phrase is, with due respect, I would like to put forward the point that. It signals respect while asserting your position. Another traditional opening, especially in formal settings. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by saying that. Classic for a reason.
Feels very proper.
It is. Or for a more direct but still formal approach, I would like to begin by stating my view perspective of the matter. Clearly sets the stage for your personal take.
I can feel the professionalism just hearing these. Firm but fair. What about agreeing? Showing you're listening, building consensus.
Crucial for group cohesion. Simplest, most direct. I totally agree with you. Clear, polite, to add emphasis and credit someone specific. As a matter of fact, person's name is completely right by saying that. Shows you're paying attention.
Nice touch.
Another strong one, implying support. I second what person's name just said. Very formal, often used in meetings, or slightly more personal. I have to side with person's name on this one.
Now the tricky part. Politely disagreeing. This is where things can go wrong fast. How do you do it without making someone defensive or shutting down the chat? It's an art form.
It really is. This is where softeners are critical.
Yeah.
Instead of a blunt, you're wrong, which is just confrontational.
Instant defensiveness.
Exactly.
Mm.
Okay. With due respect, I believe it would not be right to do suggestion. That with due respect is powerful. It shows you value their opinion even as you differ. Another classic softener. I'm afraid I can only partly agree with that. Here, afraid isn't literally scared. It's a polite idiom.
Like saying, I regret I can't fully agree, but much smoother. Clever.
Precisely. You can also personalize it to soften the blow. I personally feel it wouldn't be okay to do this. Frames it as your view, less confrontational, and a sophisticated approach. Though I agree on the broader point, it seems to me that acknowledge common ground before introducing your counter-perspective makes dissent much more palatable, opens dialogue, avoids argument.
Incredibly helpful. Respect first. Find common ground. Okay, what about suggesting or giving opinions? How do you project confidence when it's your turn?
Delivery is key here, not just the words. Start with, my honest opinion would be that. Highlights conviction, suggests careful thought, to build on points. To level up with you, I think. Good in business contexts. For a personal yet professional take, the way I see it, works well, highly formal. I am of the opinion that. Great for official settings, and from my perspective, in my perspective, both correct, widely used to frame your viewpoint.
It's fascinating the phrases are just one part. Delivering them confidently, eye contact, posture, that really reinforces the words.
Absolutely right. Confidence, conveyed non-verbally too. Projects. Professionalism, conviction. Makes your opinion more impactful, encourages others to take it seriously.
How about asking for clarification? Sometimes you just need more detail. Better to ask than assume, right?
Crucial for understanding. Direct and polite. I'm sorry, but could you please make it clearer? Or, the idiom, could you throw some more light on it? Meaning, elaborate, explain further.
Nice one.
Also, please expand your thoughts, opinions. Clear, professional request. Very polite. Do you mind explaining that again? Excellent if you missed something. Please enlighten me. Can work sometimes. Humbly requesting understanding.
And then, the dreaded interruption. How do you jump in politely in a fast discussion without being rude?
Careful navigation needed. Most common, sorry to interrupt, but straightforward. To contribute constructively, I would like to add here that enhances the point. Highly polite, seeking permission. Is it okay if I add something here? We're very formal. If I may interrupt, I would like to add that. Key is, be brief, relevant immediately after interrupting.
Okay, and general phrases. The ones you can sprinkle in to sound articulate, engaged, manage the flow.
Yeah. In today's world, introduces observations on current trends. As a matter of fact. Emphasizes a popular trend or fact. Adds weight. When asked for your opinions, thank you for asking my opinion on it.
Polite.
Shows your input is valued. To involve others or seek support. What do you think about this? Strategic question. And to add authority, as famous person once said, introduce a relevant quote.
So mastering these phrases isn't just about speaking English. It's transforming hesitation into articulate, confident, professional participation. That's a powerful shift. Now let's move from the dynamic GDs to something equally structured, but maybe more solitary. Debate writing. Crucial in academics, great for persuasive skills.
Debate writing is definitely specific. It's a formal, structured discussion, usually written as if delivered by one person or group. The goal, Compelling arguments for or against a motion. Its public nature is key, designed to persuade an audience.
And our sources give a clear marking scheme, like a typical 10-mark structure for class 10th, 12th exams. That helps focus the writing.
Yes, understanding the marking is vital. Typically, opening and closing, formal address, strong conclusion, might be 1 mark. First and last impressions count. Content body, your arguments, ideas, evidence, is usually about 4 marks. That's the substance. And expression, this often surprises people, is worth a hefty 5 marks.
Wow, half the marks just for expression. What exactly does that cover? Just fancy words.
It's comprehensive. Vocabulary choice, precision, variety, grammatical accuracy, flawless structure, tenses, correct spelling, originality and flow of ideas, and overall writing style. Formal, persuasive, clear. It's not just what you say, but how elegantly, accurately, compellingly you say it. Demonstrating command of language as a persuasive tool.
That's huge. So before even writing, what are the key strategic prep tips, especially under exam pressure?
Sources highlight several. First, your intro must be engaging. Grab attention immediately. Keep them interested. Don't lose them early. Second, critically important, always prep arguments for both sides, for and against the motion. Even if you only argue one side,
Why both?
it ensures you grasp the whole issue, anticipate counter-arguments, and makes your chosen stance stronger, more robust. You know the weaknesses.
Like thinking like your opponent to build a better defense. Smart.
Exactly. Third, always use a formal address. Chairman, principal, judges, teachers, friends, whatever fits. Sets the right tone. Fourth, state your position, for or against, clearly, strongly, right at the start. No ambiguity. Fifth, focus on your most crucial arguments. Quality over quantity. Don't dilute your impact.
And examples, they make arguments concrete, right?
Absolutely. But use only relevant and logically justifiable examples. Weak or irrelevant ones undermine you. Seventh, use a structured, argumentative style with logical reasoning. It's not a story, it's a case. Eighth, conclude by presenting your own well-supported opinion, tying it all together. And finally, ensure consistency. All your points must clearly support your chosen argument throughout.
This structured approach sounds like building a compelling case, like a lawyer, but with logic and evidence. Let's break down the structure more. How do we start? The introduction.
It begins with that formal salutation. Good morning, everyone, esteemed judges, honorable teachers, and my dear friends. Then state your name, or ABC if needed. Crucially, introduce the topic and explicitly declare, I stand before you to speak for or against the motion. State the topic. Immediate clarity sets the stage.
Perfect. Lets the reader know exactly what's coming. Now, the body, the arguments, the real meat of it.
The body should elaborate logically, often touching on the problem and offering solutions related to your stance. Start by briefly defining the topic for context. Then present your arguments. If you have many, pick the strongest. If few, elaborate on each with detail, evidence, reasoning to meet the word count. Clarity and consistency are vital. Every sentence supports your position. And for every problem you raise, try to offer a corresponding solution or path forward.
What if specific solutions aren't obvious? Some topics are really broad.
Good point. Our sources suggest adaptable, positive approaches, spreading awareness, launching campaigns, strict implementation of policies, emphasizing unity or collaboration. These are versatile and ethically vital. Avoid examples or arguments that could be offensive or harmful. Logical and responsible arguments are key.
So it's building that persuasive case, grounded in logic, aiming to convince. And the conclusion. How do we leave a strong final impression?
The conclusion reinforces your stance and leaves a takeaway. Summarize main points concisely. Restate your position, no new info. Express gratitude to the audience, and a highly effective technique. Use a powerful, memorable quote that resonates. Like the source suggests, the word impossible itself says, I'm possible. Leaves a strong, positive final thought.
Beyond structure, any practical do's and don'ts for writing these in exams?
Okay, do's. First, rough work. Jot down key points quickly, like 1 minute before writing. Saves time, ensures flow. Second, proofread meticulously. Spelling, grammar, remember, 5 marks for expression. Third, paragraphs. Write in clear paragraphs with spacing. Looks polished, organized. Fourth, highlight. Underline key points, examples, quotes to guide the examiner. Fifth, have quotes ready. Keep a few relevant idioms handy. Boosts sophistication. Sixth, practice. Source suggests maybe 30 debates a year, improves speed, ideas, style. Seventh, stay updated. Read news, social, environmental, political issues often become topics. And finally, past papers. Solve previous questions. Sample papers. Get familiar with format topics.
Got it. And the don'ts. What absolute pitfalls to avoid?
First, no personal details. Name school unless asked. Strict rule. Second, avoid writing only pros or cons if a balanced view is needed. More for essays, but good to keep in mind. Third, no contractions. Use do not don't. Formal writing. Fourth, keep it formal. No story-like narratives. Argumentative, factual tone. Fifth, word limit. Stick to it. Usually 150, 200 words. Examiners check conciseness. Going over can lose marks. And finally, time management. Don't spend too long on one question. You know, what's really valuable about debate writing discipline is how it cultivates critical thinking, analytical reasoning, persuasive communication, highly transferable skills.
Beyond just exams.
Absolutely. Useful anywhere you need to build a well-reasoned case, anticipate counters, influence an audience. Powerful life skills.
Okay, foundational skills for exams. Check. Formal communication, like GDs and debates. Check. Now, let's talk about something super common and honestly quite frustrating. Making mistakes in spoken English. It's so easy to get discouraged, right? To just clam up, avoid speaking for fear of messing up. But our sources have this really liberating idea about errors.
Yes, the English Connection source puts it brilliantly. Mistakes are our friends. They help us learn. This shift in perspective is crucial. It reframes errors not as failures, not as something embarrassing, but as invaluable learning opportunities. They're a natural, essential part of acquiring any language.
A sign you're pushing boundaries.
Exactly, not a reason to stop.
And what's tricky is that many common mistakes are so widespread, they actually sound correct to many non-native speakers, which makes them harder to spot yourself.
Precisely. They become almost the default, ingrained. That's why we need to shine a light, break them down.
Let's do it. Dive into some detailed examples from the sources, explain the error, why it happens, and the correct way. Understanding the why helps it stick.
Okay, let's start with a really common one involving phrasal verbs. Look forward to. Hear this misused all the time.
Even by advanced speakers sometimes.
Right. The incorrect version is often, I look forward to meet you. Correct is, I look forward to meeting you. It's a trap because we usually see to, followed by the base verb infinitive like to run. But in the fixed phrase, look forward to, that to is actually a preposition.
Ah, so it functions differently here.
Yeah, exactly. And prepositions are followed by nouns or noun-like words,
Yeah.
gerunds. So the verb needs the ing form acting like a noun. Think looking forward to the party. Meeting acts like party here. Other examples, look forward to seeing you. Look forward to doing business. Look forward to hearing from you. Anticipating the action as a concept.
That fixed phrase idea clicks. To isn't part of an infinitive here. Got it. What about future time clauses? Another tricky tense area.
Another frequent flyer.
Mm.
Leads to redundant future tenses. You hear, when I will arrive, I will call you. Or, if you will do that, you will regret. Both wrong.
So what's correct?
When I arrive, I will call you. And if you do that, you will regret. The rule is quite neat. In sentences with two future clauses, the clause describing the action happening first, often starting with when, if, as soon as, until, etc., uses the simple present tense. The main clause, the result, uses the future tense. It emphasizes the condition or timing for the main future event.
Makes sense. The first future action acts like a trigger. Okay, next. Married to versus married with. Always confusing.
It is incorrect. She's married with a doctor. Correct. She's married to a doctor. Use to for the person you're married to. However, you do use with for children from the marriage. Example, she's married with 2 children. So married to a person, but maybe married with kids. Very distinct.
Clear distinction. How about listen? I constantly hear he doesn't listen me.
Classic.
Okay.
Correct is he doesn't listen to me. Listen is intransitive. It needs the preposition to when followed by a direct object, a person, a sound. You always listen to something or someone, part of the verb structure.
And the ultimate classic, well versus good. We hear you speak English good all the time. It just sounds off.
It's incorrect because it confuses adjectives and adverbs.
Oh,
Correct. You speak English well.
yeah.
Well is an adverb. It modifies verbs, like speak, describing how you do the action. Good is an adjective. It describes nouns. So a good book, good describes noun book, but you read that book well. Well describes verb read. You do something well. Something is good.
What about saying your age? My brother is 10 years. Sounds incomplete.
It is. Correct. It's my brother is 10, or fully, my brother is 10 years old. Definitely don't omit old if you use years. It sounds like a duration otherwise.
Articles with professions, like my brother is engineer.
Error. Correct. My brother's an engineer. Professions usually need an indefinite article, a or an. Engineer starts with a vowel sound, so an. Applies to most single, countable professions.
This next one's about politeness, order. I and my mom live here. Why does that sound wrong?
It's politeness, a subtle social rule in English. Incorrect. Correct. My mom and I live here. Rule is, when referring to yourself and others, put I last. It's deference, respect, never I and John, always John and I.
Every parent should understand this. Correct.
No, correct. Every parent should understand this. Every always takes a singular noun, even if it refers to a group. It emphasizes each individual unit, every student, every parent.
And go to home. Hear that a lot, probably based on other places like go to the office.
Incorrect.
Hmm?
Simply, we are going home. Home acts as an adverb of place indicating direction towards residence. So, no to needed. Unlike go to the office, go to the store, office and store are noun locations, not adverbs.
He gave me an information. What's wrong there?
Information is uncountable in English. Can't be counted individually, can't take and, can't be plural informations. So, incorrect. And information, correct. He gave me some information, or for a single unit, he gave me a piece of information, a bit of information, like advice or furniture.
And plurals like children's. Common over-application of Ebers.
Exactly. Incorrect. How many children do you have? Correct. How many children do you have? Children is the plural of child. It's irregular. No extras needed. Like men, feet, mice.
For versus since. They both deal with time gets confusing. I have been studying since 4 hours.
Incorrect. Should be. I have been studying for 4 hours. The difference is crucial. For period, duration period for 2 hours for 3 days. Since, specific starting point, since 2 p.m., since Monday, since 2020. So studying since 2 p.m. or studying for 2 hours.
Auxiliary verbs and base forms. She doesn't has anything. Why is that wrong?
Very common error. Correct. She doesn't have anything. Rule. After auxiliary verbs do, does, did, and negative questions, the main verb reverts to its base form. Base form of has is have. So she does not have, he did not go. Do you like?
Subject-verb agreement with police. Police is coming.
Incorrect. It's police are coming. Police is a collective noun, but in English it usually takes a plural verb, like people or cattle. You wouldn't say people is coming.
This table isn't enough big. Word order issue.
Yes. Incorrect. It's this table isn't big enough. Rule. When enough modifies an adjective, it follows the adjective. Tall enough, smart enough, old enough, big enough.
Finally, the classic mix-up, boring versus bored. She was boring in the class. That means something totally different, right?
Completely different. If she was boring, it means she caused boredom. She was uninteresting. To say she felt bored, it's she was getting bored in the class, or she was bored in the class. Simple rule, adding adjectives, boring, interesting, describe the cause of a feeling or what something is. 80 adjectives, bored, interested, describe how someone feels. A movie is boring, you are bored by it.
Wow. These seemingly small errors can totally change meaning or just sound unnatural. Embracing corrections, understanding the why, practicing diligently, that's key. Goal isn't instant perfection, but steady progress. Each correction is a step forward. Mistakes really are friends guiding you. Okay, we've tackled avoiding pitfalls, easing formal settings, but what about just building that fluid, natural, confident English for everyday life? It's one thing to know rules, another to speak without hesitation, without that awkward mental search for words.
Exactly. Making that leap from theory to active, spontaneous speech needs consistent, deliberate practice. especially with high-frequency phrases. Our sources really stress the power of daily practice with common sentences.
What kind of sentences, and how does just practicing them daily actually make you more fluent, less hesitant?
We're talking simple, common stuff used constantly. Commands, questions, basic statements. Sources give great examples. Hurry up, go fast, come back, move aside, get ready, stand up, don't cry, listen to me, this one, that one, follow me, speak slowly, don't argue, use your brain, I forgot. The method is repetition and, crucially, active verbalization, saying them aloud.
So, literally saying them out loud again and again, even to yourself, like building muscle memory for your mouth.
Precisely. That repeated active verbalization ingrains these phrases deeply, builds muscle memory, strengthens neural pathways. They become automatic. This massively reduces the cognitive load in real conversations. You're not building every simple sentence from scratch. Frees up mental energy for your actual message, not just the mechanics. You become faster, smoother, more natural.
I really encourage you, listening now, say some of these aloud. Hurry up, don't cry, get ready. It feels weird at first, maybe, but it helps. Active participation. Beyond basics, what about boosting public speaking, interview skills? Sources introduce a cool concept, the ACP formula. Memorable way to think about impact.
The ACP formula is a great mnemonic for making a powerful impression in high-stakes situations. A for appearance, C for confidence, P for power of pause. Together, they really influence perception.
Let's break it down. A for appearance. We know first impressions matter, but what's the deeper angle here?
It's not just fashion. It's about presenting yourself well, respecting the occasion, the audience, ironed clothes, appropriate attire. As the source insightfully says, your clothing and overall grooming project your personality and character. It's powerful nonverbal communication. Signals professionalism, detail orientation, self-respect, respect for others, influences credibility before you even speak.
Sets the stage. Okay, C for confidence. Seems most crucial, maybe hardest to build.
It's paramount. Sources stress self-trust as the foundation. Without it, hard to gain others' trust, whether speaking publicly or in an interview. But confidence isn't always innate, it's cultivated. Through consistent practice, thorough preparation, repeated exposure in that specific area. The more prepared, the more familiar, the more confident you'll feel. Visualization, positive self-talk help too.
And P for power of pause. This challenges that idea that super fast, unbroken ferret at our English is always impressive.
Absolutely challenges it. The power of pause shows strategic pauses aren't weakness, but powerful rhetorical tools. They add emphasis, let listeners absorb info, enhance impact and clarity. It's about quality, impact, not just speed. A thoughtful pause conveys control, authority, gives words weight, makes messages memorable.
So connecting the dots, appearance, confidence, power of pause together, create a strong positive impression. It's the whole package.
The psychology is clear. Look composed, sound confident, speak with intentional pauses. You project competence, composure, authority. It fosters trust, engagement, makes your communication far more persuasive.
This leads nicely to another fascinating, often misunderstood part of natural speech. English fillers, we often hear, avoid them, but sources suggest a strategic use.
Fillers like, well, like so, they don't add much literal meaning, true.
Mm.
But they serve crucial functions. They keep conversation flowing while the speaker organizes thoughts or finds the right word.
So they literally buy thinking time.
That's a key benefit. Provides milliseconds to plan the next sentence, avoiding awkward silences or stumbling. But they do more. Fillers like, well, can soften a statement, make it less abrupt. Well, I partly agree. Phrases like, subtly include the listener, making it more interactive, seeking confirmation.
So not always bad. What are some examples? Are there different types?
Yeah, various categories, basic ones. Well, like, so, okay, right. More impactful, often adverbial. Actually, basically, curiously, totally, literally, clearly, can add sophistication if used carefully. For listener engagement, you see, I mean, believe me, emphasizing a point, concluding, at the end of the day, indicating uncertainty, I guess, I suppose, or something.
That's a wider range than I thought, but surely there are warnings. Can't just pepper them everywhere.
Absolutely not. Sources warn strongly against overuse. Make speech sound weak, hesitant, rambling, polluted. Listeners lose interest, perceive less confidence. Key is strategic moderation. Use sparingly, with purpose, maybe one every few sentences. Don't let them dominate.
Less is more. Conscious choice.
Definitely. Variety is also good. Use different fillers, not just one constantly. Avoids monotony, sounds more polished. Ideally, they should arise naturally from conversation practice, not forced awkwardly. And context matters. Avoid casual, informal settings like interviews. Use sophisticated alternatives like basically, actually, or even better, just a strategic pause.
Fascinating. Strategic mindful use can actually smooth conversation, give thinking time, but thoughtless overuse really detracts. A subtle art to practice, okay? Individual practice, grammar, confidence, daily speaking covered. Now let's pivot to structured support and the amazing learning tools out there, both traditional and modern. First, let's look inside the classroom, especially through the lens of the TESS India initiative.
Right. TESS India Teacher Education, through school-based support in India, highlights a critical principle. Students need to speak English for genuine, real-life communication in class, not just repeating memorized stuff. Using the language authentically to express thoughts, engage, solve problems, shifting from learning about English to actually using it.
Making it functional, not just academic. And pair and group work are highlighted as really powerful for this, especially in big or mixed level classes. Why?
Several huge benefits. First, maximize speaking time. In large classes, individual time is scarce. Pair group work lets way more students speak simultaneously. Everyone gets a turn. Second, it creates a safer psychological space. Smaller groups feel less intimidating than the whole class. Students are more willing to experiment, take risks, make mistakes without fear of public judgment.
Which is massive, right? That fear of mistakes often holds learners back the most.
Exactly. Pair group work helps dismantle that barrier. Third, it facilitates peer learning and support. More proficient students help struggling ones, explaining things simply, giving feedback. Collaborative learning happens. And finally, all this more opportunity, less pressure, directly builds genuine confidence in spoken English. They see progress in a low-stakes setting.
Sources then detail practical activities teachers can use. Let's start with pair dictation, or Shrutilak. Sounds simple, but how does it work effectively?
It's simple but highly effective. Trains speaking and listening. One student reads a short passage aloud, the partner listens and writes. The speaker practices pronunciation, fluency. The listener-writer improves comprehension, spelling, punctuation. Both skills get boosted, building confidence for real communication.
And the teacher's role, based on Mr. Datta's case study, is quite specific, right? More than just read this.
Yes, her approach is excellent facilitation. Pre-class. Choose the suitable short passage, not too complex. In class, guide pair formation or groups of 3 if needed. Clear instructions in English written on the board, check understanding. Maybe ask students to explain in native language. Emphasize role reversal, both partners practice both skills. Set a time limit, example 10 minutes. Actively monitor, quietly circulate, listen, observe, offer help, note common errors. Crucially, don't interrupt to correct during the activity. That discourages speaking. Afterwards, students self-correct by comparing with the original text, then provide whole class feedback on common error patterns, not individual mistakes. Learning for everyone, no singling out.
Brilliant approach to error correction. Save it till after. Don't stifle the speaking. What about mock interviews? How does that build confidence in class?
Another great communicative activity. Students interview each other in pairs groups. Roles can vary. Journalists interviewing a celebrity, a book character, a historical figure, a local person. The purpose is clear. Use English spontaneously to form questions and answers. Simulates real information exchange. Practices asking and giving info.
And Mr. Kumar's case study gives a detailed method for this.
Yes, he starts by choosing an engaging interviewee. From textbook, celebrity, hero. Conducts whole class question brainstorming, writing ideas on the board. Encourages creative questions, seeking new info, not just known facts. Students then work in pairs groups to generate more questions, timed, maybe 8 months, with him circulating to help, correct, suggest. Arranges seating for face-to-face interaction. Assigns roles, journalist interviewee. Ensures roles swap after round 1. Instructs journalists to take notes for a follow-up task. monitors actively, supports, addresses common challenges.
What challenges does Mr. Kumar typically face in group work, and how does he handle them without disrupting the learning?
Four main ones. First, students reverting to native language. Solution. Set English use expectation clearly. Gently remind them of benefits. Second, noise levels too high.
Yeah.
Solution. Establish volume expectations. Monitor actively. Use signals gestures to quiet groups. Third, uneven participation. Some dominate, others silent. Solution. Assign specific roles. Student AB secretary. Actively encourage quieter students. Fourth, students making mistakes. Solution. Like Mr. Data, don't interrupt during speaking. Collect common errors. Address and whole class feedback after. Reiterate mistakes are normal, part of learning. Decrease with practice. What's fascinating is how initiatives like Test India really showcase valuable resources for teachers wanting effective, student-centered English teaching. Their focus on active engagement, supportive environment, it truly empowers learners by moving beyond passive learning.
Amazing to see how structured classroom strategies work, even in tough situations. But for those outside class or wanting extra resources, our sources also list fantastic free online English speaking courses. This really democratizes learning.
Absolutely. Fluent English opens global career doors, connects you professionally, personally. These online platforms make learning accessible regardless of location or budget.
Let's start with Coursera. Big name, university partnerships.
Huge reach, 32M plus users, 4.8M plus certificates. Partners with top universities globally. Offers over 1,400 free courses, often with free materials assignments. Highlighted course. Speak English professionally in person, online, and on the phone from Georgia Tech. 5 weeks covers introductions, enhanced communication. Hugely popular, over 4.24 lakh enrollments. Also, English for career development from UPenn. Great for structured university-level content.
Udemy, another giant, often very practical, skills focused. What's their offer?
Top platform. Vast array of free or low-cost courses, daily updates. Over 10,000 relevant courses. Titles like English for Beginners, Intensive Spoken English Course, Foundational, for refining skills, Master English, Improve your speaking, listening, and writing, English speaking patterns mastery, Natural speech, English fluency, How to sound like a native speaker, for confidence, Speak English with confidence, English speaking course, excellent for specific skill building.
And my MOOC, their niche.
My MOOC offers focused courses, usually 6 21 hours, aiming for expertise in speaking and writing. More compact, specialized, noteworthy. Unlock your English, 15 hours for expressive ability. English pronunciation in a global world, crucial for clarity. Ideal for learners wanting shorter, targeted courses.
ESOL courses, English for speakers of other languages, different levels available.
Yes, very structured. Free online courses across levels. Beginner, elementary, advanced. Very practice-oriented, lots of exercises highlighted. Beginner's course, elementary course, easy readers for reading fluency. Perfect for learners liking clear progression through levels.
Lastly, Learn English Online. What makes it stand out?
Really comprehensive. Covers grammar, vocab, skills, 54 lessons, 11 units each on a grammar topic. Unique Learner Skills tab offers general learning strategies, highlights courses like Improve Your Spoken English, Improve Your Writing. Well-rounded resource, great for methodical strengthening from multiple angles.
The accessibility and sheer variety here are incredible. Truly democratizes learning. Student, professional, curious mind. There's a free, quality option tailored for you.
Which raises a key question for you, the listener. How do you choose? Given this wealth of options, key is self-assessment. Honestly, look at your learning style, current level, specific goals. Need basic grammar, interview practice, visual learner, interactive exercises. Align your needs with a course's focus. That optimizes your journey, ensures real progress. Hashtag, tag, outtracts, outro.
Wow, what a deep dive today. We have covered so much ground. We journeyed from those crucial foundational skills for competitive exams through the strategic art of navigating formal group discussions and crafting persuasive debates.
To really digging into identifying and correcting those common, sometimes sneaky mistakes in spoken English that trip us up.
We also explored how to cultivate genuine fluency and confidence through daily practice, the power of pausing, thoughtful filler use.
And finally, we looked at structured support, collaborative classroom activities, and that huge wealth of accessible free online courses to accelerate your learning.
You know, the path to English mastery seems less about rigid rules and much more about continuous practice, embracing the whole learning process.
Viewing every stumble as a lesson. As we heard, mistakes are our friends. They help us learn.
So, reflecting on all this, what's one small, actionable step you will take next to befriend your mistakes, elevate your English?
And maybe a broader thought. Beyond personal advancement, how might our collective effort towards effective English communication actually help break down global barriers, foster deeper connections in our interconnected world?
Lots to think about. Until our next deep dive, keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep speaking with confidence.